YouTube, welcome back to a very special episode of This Week in Halo. And what a week it's been. Halo Campaign Evolved was revealed for the very first time, everything has settled now, and boy, has a lot of information come out. Halo Studios have even announced Halo Fest 2026, so I'm going to talk about that too, the prequel missions and what they might be with Sergeant Johnson for the upcoming campaign. We have Halo modders who have also pointed out just how much this new game is based off of Halo Reach, and as you can probably tell by the title of this video, ex-Bungie developers and even ex-343 devs have weighed in on the reveal. I have also been reading your comments, taking your own feedback. I have my own. This is This Week in Halo. Let's get into the video. So first up, let's talk about the Halo World Championships 2025. It just ended as I'm filming this video, and they've announced something else. As we know, there's not going to be a Halo World Championships next year. The HCS is going on hiatus for a couple of years until the new multiplayer comes out. And yes, they confirmed, I'll put it on screen, that there is a new multiplayer coming out and HCS will return in future. I know they haven't announced anything officially, but from all the leaks and everything we've seen, and even from Grunt API, who has shown there's 3 different projects in the works at the moment, I would bet money that we will see a multiplayer reveal in the next year. It may even launch alongside the Combat Evolved remake. So that raises the question, what is actually going to take the place of the World Championships next year? And Halo Studios, almost called them 343, they have announced Halo Fest 2026. As we know, next year is Halo's 25th anniversary, so they're going to mark the occasion with something special. It's going to be all things Halo, and they may even run an official tournament, but it's not going to be the World Championships. What I found most interesting about Halo Fest 2026 was that Halo Studios and, well, Microsoft have invited every single Halo composer to come to the event. So that includes Marty O'Donnell, Michael Salvatore, all the original composers all the way to Halo Infinite. They're all invited. It is going to be in December, so I assume that's after the Halo Campaign Evolved remake comes out, but I still think we'll get a multiplayer next year. That is not me confirming anything. I have absolutely zero insider information, but I think we'll get one. This brings me to Campaign Evolved itself. And I've been watching videos on videos on videos, all of the gameplay that has come out, and there's a couple of things I've noticed, plus your own feedback that I'm going to go through very, very quickly. First, the menu. And I know it's different to the Halo Combat Evolved original menu, but it honestly kind of reminds me of Halo 3. You know, it has like that different tinge, so it's a green instead of a blue, I'll put it on screen, and you kind of go through the map. It is eerily close to the Halo 3 and Halo 2 style menu, and I'm completely fine with that. I also have to say, I know a lot of people have been saying, oh my god, Combat Evolved for the 3rd time. First of all, I don't know why we're considering the anniversary version, as that is the biggest pile of dog shit I've ever seen. Second, if they're starting with Combat Evolved and it's a brand new kind of like trilogy or whatever they're going to do, well, they're going to go through every game. So of course they have to start with Combat Evolved. It would be silly if they started at, say, Halo 2 or Halo 3. And a lot of you guys have said, where's the Halo 3 remake? We want Halo 3 Anniversary. They'll get there. It's going to take time, and I know it's going to be annoying to wait that long. I'm probably going to be 40 when that game eventually comes out, but Halo Combat Evolved was the rightful place to start. In saying that, we have 3 prequel missions we'll be getting from Sergeant Johnson and the Master Chief in this campaign remake. What if it's the Fall of Reach? What if we get the Fall of Reach for 3 episodes? What if we get Contact Harvest for at least 1 mission? That is something I am personally excited for, so I guess we'll have to find out. Now, General Kidd did get access, and he went through the entire build in kind of a deep way. What I actually noticed and what I loved was the original description for the legendary difficulty has finally been restored. It says, you face opponents who have never known defeat, who laugh in alien tongues at your efforts to survive. This is suicide. And even on Halo Infinite, suicides were removed from the game. They're called self-destructions. So I'm really glad that it's back. I also noticed you guys say, Remy, you probably didn't get the build because they didn't want you to break it. And I get it. But if they told me, hey Remy, it's a demo, please don't break out of the map or try and launch a Warthog yet. It's not finished, it's not ready. I would have done that, I would have respected that. But in saying that, and I noticed this too, you can't drive the Warthog into the water. There's invisible barriers everywhere. And Halo Reach was very strict with barriers anyway, but maybe it'll be different when the game comes out, but it's something that needs to be changed. You should be able to drive the Warthog deep into the water. And something that I was wondering, why didn't people test this? Why did no one grab the Warthog and try drive it through that final tunnel? You know where the Zealot Elite is waiting and, you know, famous Halo strat, you drive the Warthog into the tunnel. Why has no one tested that? Maybe that's why I didn't get the build, because I would have done that. Maybe that would have let me bypass the cutscene and I would have gotten into the next area. The more I talk about it, the more it makes sense that I didn't get to play it. On that same note though, I would have liked to have seen people who did get access customize the HUD completely. I also would have liked them to compare normal walking speed, sprinting speed, and if you accelerate, so you start with a slow run and you get faster over time. Does the speed stay relative? Do you get faster? How does it impact gameplay when you turn it off? Does the base movement speed get slightly faster? I also have to add in, and this is your own feedback that I noticed too, the Forerunner objects. They look like power washed. They're 100,000 years old. They need more wear and tear. At least that's what I'm going to say compared to the original version. I haven't seen any Sentinels flying around power washing with their laser beams, so they shouldn't look pristine and brand new. How the Forerunner objects look was not the only thing you guys noticed, as many of you in the comments actually went to the World Championships, so you got to play it. Many of you guys, including the Vengeful Vadim, he said on Twitter, it is so like Halo Reach. The animations of the enemies, even I noticed the Marines were from Halo Reach. There is so much Halo Reach under the hood of this game, and it makes me think that one, assassinations could be possible, because many of you guys were asking about that, and there was rumors about assassinations, but I didn't see anyone who actually played be able to do it. And second, campaign theater. It is a campaign only game, and Halo Reach actually had campaign theater, so I would love if they included that into the game. This is just purely for me. I could make some amazing content for you guys. I wouldn't have to use a third-party tool to like detach the camera. If it was actually built into the game, that would be amazing. So with that out of the way, let's get to what the Bungie developers themselves said, and it's actually a mixture on the Halo Campaign Evolved release. There was even a couple of 343 devs who said a couple of things too. Let's get into it. So, Jamie Greisemer, ex-Bungie developer, said, and I quote, "You aren't supposed to be able to take the Warthog up to steamroll the hunters. I intentionally placed rocks in the way so you had to fight them on foot. When you can just smash the crates out of the way, it wrecks the encounters. The worst part? They put trees in the landing area of the woohoo jump. Lame." Jamie went on to say, on further analysis, "I'm sure it's because the vehicles take damage and so you're just as likely to destroy the hog as it gets over the rocks. If anything, that makes it worse because none of the vehicle tricks are going to work anymore. First of all, I just have to say, there's going to be a skull that makes vehicles indestructible, so I can do my trick shot still. Hooray!" Secondly, we have Marty O'Donnell actually quote retweeting Jamie Greisemer's post, and he just said, "Heh." Now, he's been invited to the Halo Fest 2026 as a composer. Who knows if he'll show up. Third, we have Hardy LaBelle. He actually created the Combat Evolve multiplayer, and he said, "The fact that they cannot move the IP forward from the past is really sad." And I know what you guys are thinking, 3 bad negative comments from 3 ex-Bungie developers, it's not all bad. The fourth one, by Marcus Leto, one of the co-creators of Halo himself, well, he said, "My honest impression of seeing the new Halo Campaign Evolved is this. I absolutely love where this is going. The game looks and feels genuine. It's gorgeous in a way I wish we could have built originally back in 2001. It warms my heart to see Halo CE like this." And if you guys don't know, in Unreal Engine 4, the one before Unreal Engine 5, Marcus actually made some mock-ups of what Halo Combat Evolved would look like, I'll put them on screen, if it was made in the modern day. And what he did was beautiful. To see his approval of the project in this way is actually great to see. If he hated it, he would be honest. The final developer tweet we need to read comes from X343 developer Caleb, and he said, and it's actually a good point, I want to talk about this some more. Caleb said, "The clarity of the OG Halo is unmatched, and I hope that the Halo remake can make their lighting more stylized and remove the clutter. The new visuals are too vibrant and bright. Stylization, readability, and unique art direction will always be better than everything looking like everything else." And I thought that a little bit as well. Not just for Halo, but for all video games. It seemed like when the technology was worse, you needed to be more creative to stand out. Now everything is just chock full of detail, it kind of all blends together, and it almost becomes like a mush in a way. Even though it looks beautiful when you walk through it, it's not as memorable. And that's not me saying Combat Evolved from 2001 is better than what they're working on now, but sometimes I feel like less is more. That's the best way I can put it. Less is more. We are still a year out from release, so I'm sure things will change over time. It's a great time to give constructive feedback, and what I actually noticed was audiences outside of Halo, for the first time in almost a decade, are very, very excited to play this game. They think it looks beautiful, they think it looks pretty, and they're very excited to play it. I've also heard from a lot of PlayStation players who have commented on my previous videos that they're going to pick up Halo for the very first time. So that's a win too, I guess. In any case, if you do have constructive feedback about Campaign Evolved, leave it in the comments today. That is this week in Halo. A lot to go through. It's been a massive week. The HCS will return. Halo Fest 2026 will be in December, and I'm guessing this Halo Campaign Evolved remake will come out in November. I would also expect a multiplayer announcement because I know they're not going to release one and not the other. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you guys later.